here we go. What up, guys? We got a full house today. Look at this, guys. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, you guys want to smile and let's take a picture for the crowd in the replay? Let's go. Yeah. I'm going to learn some website scraping. You guys look so adorable. All right, cool. All right, so today we have an awesome class. If you guys are in our coaching class, basically you guys kind of got a preview of every single thing that we've been doing this last 2 weeks, okay? If you guys know, we have been basically using the internet as our personal database, okay? And we've been finding directories, finding websites, and scraping those sites for AI training data and also for leads, okay? This class particular is just going to be strictly on scraping the leads, okay? I want to show you guys what's possible. Once you guys see what's possible, I hope that you guys just take off with running. And basically, like here with Austin, right? We have some of our students here from this class. Austin was able to set up this website scraper, this website script, and he was able to start scraping websites and getting data and even crawling my website and pulling back some site pages that I didn't know I had. And so what you guys use with this data and what you guys use with these tools, have at it. You know what I mean? I'm just giving you the tools, use them at your own risk ethically. And it's borderline, right? We're doing something called website scraping, right? Well, some people see that as unethical. Well, I'm going to show you guys what is ethical and what is not ethical in this class, okay? So hopefully you guys stay on the ethical side and don't flirt with the other side, even though it's very easy to cross the line, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to stay on the safe side. All right, so here what we're going to do, we are going to dive in, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to switch over here.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you, Jeff.
He's mute.
All right, now I'm on mute, right?
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Cool. All right, cool. So we're going to jump into these slides, and I copy this link, and here we go. Bam. Paste. Cool. So you're going to share my screen. Slides. Bam. Cool. You guys can see my screen?
Yep.
So this is an AI generated slideshow. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So here's me. How to scrape leads and from websites and directories using AI. At the end of this, we actually will be doing a demo. If for any reason I cut out of this class because my computer dies, hey, I'll be back. Okay. So don't give up. Okay, so here we go. My name is Jeffrey Caldwell. I'm the creator of My AI Team and WebsiteScraperAPI.com. If you guys didn't know, WebsiteScraperAPI.com is the tool that we are going to be talking about today. What the cool thing is this software, this tool that I actually built, right? It is a website. It is to make it where you can crawl and scrape a website, gather the data when you need it. If you look at this, here's what's really cool is, believe it or not, this code was written by AI. All right, so if you guys know, in my coaching classes, I teach basically coding and with AI, and this is one of the codes that was created. I turned this into a full-blown software so we could actually use it. Not only could we use it in my business, but other people could use it in their business. And then I sell this as a software as a service, okay? However, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use this tool to gather leads with it. Okay, so hopefully you guys are excited and pumped up just like I am. I do hear some mics, so if you guys do have a little mute button, hit that real fast. And if you have a question, drop it in the comments. I'll jump in the comments, and then also we'll have like time to ask questions at the end of this before our demo. Okay, so all right, so welcome to our webinar, How to Scrape Leads from Any Website and Directory Using AI. We'll explore efficient ways to get targeted, effective, qualified leads fast. Okay, quickly. All right, here we go. All right, the problem, sometimes on the internet, finding targeted leads. It's difficult to find qualified leads. Some people don't know how to find them on social media, don't know where to find them on the internet, and also to identify the right person to contact. All right, and there's a kind of a need for speed to kind of gather that data, because a lot of times spending time on lead generation, you just want to start the actual marketing to it, right? Like gathering the data, you don't want to take a long time. All right. So in today's competitive market, find the right leads quickly can make all the difference. All right. And we're going to show you how. All right, my story. If you guys didn't know, I used to be an ammo salesman. I ran an ammo company in Phoenix. We made top notch, the best of the best ammo. All right, like it was the shiny stuff. Okay, not everyone wanted to buy our ammo. All right, it was like really expensive to go in the gun stores. And I just want to let you know, I might be like Troy just kind of mentioned before I jump on the call. He's like, dude, you're really good on the webinars and you're really good on this. Like, I'm not really good in person and showing up to gun stores and trying to sell my ammo. I would be the guy that shows up to the store, kindly like waves to the guy at the counter as he's talking to somebody else. And I would sheepishly walk around and like, you know, like just kind of waiting for my opportunity. They would ask and I'm like, oh, I'm just looking. And then I would like, hey, you guys interested in buying ammo just by the off chance? And I would walk out. It would just be terrible. I was a really bad salesman, right? But here's what I would do. All right, I would drive 20 to 30 miles in Phoenix between gun shops. It's massive, right? Like absolutely massive. And I would search for gun shops. And what I would start to do is I would start to get a little bit better and plan this out. And just the simple thing, I would go to like on vacation in Las Vegas, right? I have all my family here. This is where I move now, right? This was 10 years ago that I was an ammo salesman in Phoenix, right? 10 plus years ago. And what I would do is I would search for gun shops in Las Vegas and I would get a list from Google and all that stuff. And I would just go one by one and I would send them a message and I would let them know, hey, I'm coming uptown and I have my ammo. If you want to meet, let's meet. And then I would have business trips wherever I'm vacationing. You know what I mean? And so this was like something that I would do. This was like a Tuesday morning. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this was anything out of the ordinary back then. Well, now I actually help. I'm not in the ammo business anymore. I help my wife sell websites to nurses and doctors online. So here's what we do. We applied the same principle to what we do back then, but now with doctors and nurses. Okay. Hey, Julia and Troy, I also gave you guys a co-admin. So if anyone joins, you guys could add them too. If you guys wouldn't mind, you guys are attention. Thank you so much. Okay, so next. So the internet challenge. Finding leads online. So sometimes the internet has expanded our reach, but also presents new challenges. Vast amount of information. How do we get all this targeted data? Difficult to find the right leads because when you got social media, where do you start? You need efficient data collection methods, right? So here's the solution. Data scraping with AI, all right? And when I say AI is written the code. I'm going to show you guys how to do some of your own software development here at the end. Okay, I hope you guys are excited for that. The solution of AI-powered scraping. Leveraging AI for lead generation. All right, so we're bringing back data scraping. And here's the thing is scraping websites is not new. I really want you guys to think like this is not something that like I invented. Like this has been since like the internet's been invented. People wanted to scrape data, right? Like this is just, it's an old thing. However, what we're going to do is we're going to be able to supercharge how fast we're able to do this. We're going to be able to make it where we're not spending its time gathering the sites or gathering the URLs or gathering like all of these processes to be able to do this. We're going to be able to do it in a much smoother process. Okay. And then also we're going to be able to reach out to them too. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Understanding data first. Okay. So what is lead data? Lead data is very simple. All right. It includes people's name, a website, right? So like just a website, like, can you click on their website and go to the website and see what kind of products they offer, what kind of products they sell, like basic email addresses. So you could actually message them an email. That's it. Phone numbers. So we could pick up the phone like normal people and call them. Images. It's nice to have images and social links. Okay. Social links. So we could message them on social media, not spam them on social media, but add them as a friend, send them an invite, send them a request, say, hey, like I checked out your site. It looks awesome. Are you looking at a new website? Right? Those are the step-by-step processes of having that data. Okay. So what can you do with this data? All right. One is you can send targeted emails. All right. And that is actually getting all that data in a giant spreadsheet and send emails one at a time. Two, you could analyze the websites for potential offerings. My wife and I sell website templates and website like website in a days and branding and logos and all of those things. So we sell products that if we look at their website, we'd be like, man, your website looks like it could need an update. You know what I mean? And we can offer those things. It's not like, it's actually like we're looking at the problem that they're having and we're offering something. Okay. The next thing, we could also make direct phone calls, right? We could pick up the phone and we could actually call them. All right. Number 4, we could connect on social media. Number 5, we could also take that list and run targeted ads to them on Facebook, social media. Hey, here's a list, run ads just to these people. Okay. So the value of the leads, why leads matter. All right. Consider this. You want leads for your business. Okay. Is there anybody in here that does not want leads? Like you just showed up and you're like, dude, I hate customers. I don't want customers. I don't want them. I don't even know why I showed up to this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there anyone here that's like that? Right. But here's the thing is most likely everyone here wants leads for your business in some form. Like you want leads, you want to be able to message somebody, you want to be able to talk to them about your product. You want a super easy way to do it. Well, here's the cool thing. Other businesses want leads also. All right. Like, so when you guys are listening to this, I want you guys to think of, okay, how can you use this for your own business? And then 2, imagine if you sold these services, not just in your own niche, right? Because imagine if you are helping nurses and doctors. Well, like, do you help chiropractors? Maybe not. But you might know how to learn how to get chiropractor leads, and you might find somebody that does help chiropractors. Well, guess what? You could offer them the same services. Like, hey, if you want to hit up all these chiropractors, this is what I offer them. And if you want, you could sell them to these leads. And you might find other people that want these services. Another one of these things is, if you guys saw a few seconds ago, right? I built this into my software. At the very end of this, I'm going to show you guys how you guys can build this into your softwares so that you guys can build a software that other people can use. You guys might create custom scrapers that scrape certain directories and certain websites, and you just return the data for that. And you offer that as a service. You might make it where you just have a giant lead list that you sell of pure chiropractors and pure construction companies or pure nonprofit companies. And you offer that lead list to other companies that are part of your network. Or Joey's in the music business, right? Joey, you might literally have a lead list of every single producer, every single news station, or every single radio station in America. And you have that where people could email those to offer their new songs and get that out. And you might offer that as a service to your musicians under your label, right? So you could offer this as a service, or you offer this as a directory and you put all those things on it yourself, right? So as you guys are going through this, think about what you could potentially use this for also, not just you using it in your business, but other people, you using it as a service for other people, okay? So bonus, we're going to talk about creating your own software. Okay. So, how to actually like turn this in where it's not just a simple, like you use it and it's your software, where it's internal. Other people could use this and you could sell it as a service. Okay. As a monthly reoccurring service or anything like that. Okay. So why directories? All right. The power of directories, directories all basically, like if I go to Google, and if I just find like one single website, like let's just say I type in construction Las Vegas, okay? And if I just type in construction Las Vegas, I'll pull back some sites, and some of these sites, essentially that's one site at a time, right? And I could get one site's information at a time. However, a directory is going to have a whole bunch of those sites. We could actually look for directories of Las Vegas, list of companies in Las Vegas, networks of directories, right? Like networks of construction companies. So we can start to find directories. All right. So step 1 in our little process of scraping, all right, step 1 is finding our sites of our directories. Okay. So we want to be able to find our list. So if you're going to bring on a new client, if you're going to bring on a new or do this for your business, you want to write down basically like 10 types of directories that you could potentially find your customer. If I'm helping my wife with nurses and doctors, we're going to start listing doctors, functional medicine, private practices, health coaches, all of these things of these possible lists of people that we're going to start looking for online. And then we're going to search for those directories online. Okay. Those are going to be our list. So step one, look for the directories. All right. So this is basically this is the 5-step process for scraping our leads. Okay. So our step one is find our sites. Okay. So that was kind of what that step one was last time, right? Finding our sites. Use directory related keywords to find valuable sources. So this is where you're actually looking at these sources, finding the directories in your niche of who you actually want to market to. All right. We sell websites. We sell logos and branding. Well, you might sell something completely different, or you might sell those exact things because those things are extremely valuable and to sell to people, right? Like websites are extremely valuable. Ask yourself, how much does a website cost? If you were to build a website or you were to pay right now somebody to build a website, how much would that cost? Right? And you're probably saying a couple $1,000s. Well, that's why I sell websites, is because I could sell them for a couple $1,000s. Right? I sell templates for a couple $100s. And now I could sell a digital product to these people for a couple $100s. And if they want me to set it up, well, then I offer a service to set it up for a couple $1,000. Okay. So whatever you're offering them, think about that process is, who are you going to offer it to? Find those directories. All right. Once we do that, step two. Once we have that directory, well, guess what? We're going to crawl the site. Well, we need a tool that could crawl the site, don't we? Right? Well, how convenient. Okay. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. All right. The next thing is we need to scrape the site for the relevant data. So that means the names, the phone numbers, the emails, the HTML, anything like that. We need that data. Okay. Number 4, sometimes if we're doing directories, a lot of times directories are basically, I'm not joking, a lot of directories are built off of scraped data. Okay. Because it's a whole bunch of data that they could start a directory with. But a lot of times they don't have all the data on the directory. Sometimes you'll have the URLs. Sometimes you have the name. Sometimes you have the phone number, but you don't have the emails. Well, guess what? Sometimes if you have the URL from that directory, we could enrich it and we could send in that data and enrich it again. Okay. So we could always enrich it. Okay. So a lot of times if you are scraping a directory, you're not getting all of the information. You're just getting the URL is one of the most important things, because then we could come through and get that URL and we can scrape that again. Okay. And then in the famous words of South Park, number 5 is profit. All right. All right. So you could utilize this collection data for your businesses, reach out to them, email them, right? We talked about what you could do with this lead data, right? You could reach them, add them on social media, message them, sell that data for other businesses that can utilize the data. If you can't utilize the data, somebody else can, right? Ask your social media, how many people can use a list of 2,000 nonprofit companies and they want it for free, and you use it as lead magnet, or you sell it. All right. And you could sell those leads just like people buy those leads. Okay. So next steps. Now that you got the data, what next? All right. So what is a giant list of data? Well, that you're basically going to end with a giant Excel sheet. All right. Well, once you have a giant Excel sheet, you can do a couple things. One, you can create your own, basically like directory. Inside of our coaching classes, we just talked about taking that CSV, which is the whole data sheet, and uploading it and creating your whole directory in that. All right. We could start our outreach campaigns, which is dropping it into some type of cold reach, like cold emailing platform. All right. There's software that is just built to email and warm up and message cold leads, right? You're not messaging. Here's one of the things, right? We're not messaging like James next door to my house, right? I'm not using people like that. I'm messaging businesses, right? So that's one of the key differences is we're not scraping homeowner data or anything like that. Like that's, even though we can get homeowner data and there's APIs and there's all that stuff, we're scraping business data that we actually want. We're scraping content. Okay. So we're business data, you're B2B, you're allowed to reach out to people, right? That's totally absolutely legal and ethical. Okay. We're able to analyze the data for insights. A lot of times you could pull that data and you could see what they're solving. We could put it into AI. We could ask questions to it. All right. We could segment the leads for targeted marketing. We could put it into Facebook retargeting. There's a lot of cool things. All right, so here we go. All right, so using AI, you get to save time, quality leads, stay ahead. We're going to show a demo of this. Does anybody have any questions so far on any of this process on getting leads with this? Y'all excited? Heck yeah, Troy. What's the website? Nice, Josh. All right, cool. All right. I love it. Samuel, heck yeah, I'll take your word for it. I'm here to download info for the app. All right, cool. Josh said, what's the website? All right, cool. We are going to jump over to, let's see. So bam, we're going to jump over to the website called websitescraperapi.com. Okay. This is our website. All right. And let me stop sharing real fast and share my entire screen so I don't have to keep sharing all this. Bam. All right. So if you guys see, this is our little slides all built with AI coding. We're going to talk about that in a bit. All right, cool. So if I go to Website Scraper API and I get signed into the dashboard, okay, here is what we have. All right. So we have a whole entire, basically 2 options, right? Once you get signed up, there's a couple plans basically that you could pick from. All right. Depends on how much data you want. All right. Basically, there's up to 100,000 scrapes. And if you need more, we could talk about that. Right. And then it goes basically down to $27 a month for 1,000 scrapes. All right. Well, here's what's really cool. Let's just say, basically, once you get signed up, okay, we have 2 functionalities. All right. We have 2 functionalities here. And I am going to use one of the sites as basically one of them I looked earlier, right? We have Todd here, and Todd I know helps nonprofits, okay? So one of the things I went to do is I went to Google and I typed in nonprofit profits, okay? Nonprofits directory, all right? We don't have to really think too hard on this. We can just type in nonprofit directory, okay? And from here, we can find a whole bunch of different nonprofits, okay? Different directories. All right. And if you see, what I like to do is I like to open each one and I like to see who has the best data, who has the most structured data. All right. And because some people have really awesome sites and they rank very like up at the top, but they actually don't have a lot of actual basically information on those directories. Okay, so like that one, Guided Star, didn't seem to have a lot. One of them that I found is called greatnonprofits.org. Okay, and here's what's really cool is a lot of these things have a ton of, look at all this. Look at this, like Miracle Flights in Las Vegas, Honor Society. This actually has quite a bit of sites, like nonprofits. Well, if I was selling to nonprofits, such as my website services or paperwork, or I had a mission statement generator that I could help these guys with, or something free to offer these guys. Well, if you look at this, this is a giant directory full of these nonprofits. And if you could see, I could click on this directory. It says Las Vegas Shepherd's Rescue, the whole thing. You could see the cause. I could like read about it. I could see right here. Check out this. This is some info in the bottom right-hand corner that I could see. It's an EIN number. I could see a phone number for this. I could see a full address for this. And I could see a website link for this. So this is an entire site. And look, here's a whole bunch of reviews. So if I was scraping reviews, I could also use this. Here's an entire site that has, or an entire directory that has all this. Well, check out this. I could copy this directory link and I could go into this crawl. And inside this crawl, we could pick how many website pages we want, right? And if I want all the pages, I could pick 1 million, right? And then in a few seconds, this is going to crawl the entire site and get back every single site page on this link, okay? Actually, oh man. Let me grab this one, all right? All right, so add this in here, all right? And I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to crawl, okay? And you're going to see it's going to crawl this. I'm going to make sure that has that on that update, okay? So it's going to crawl this page, and it's going to get every single page found on the website, okay? Once we get all those pages, well, now we have a giant list of directories. So this is almost the same process that we want to do. Well, we could also go to this little URL page and not only do, so this just returned right here, right? Charities.org just returned 4,153 pages in 7 seconds, in 7.9 seconds. Well, if I hit the view data, you can see is that we actually have a lot. Like, there's a whole bunch of ones that are like news. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Like there's ones that are listed at the actual charity, the nonprofits. So this is every single like site page on this. Well, what we could also do is we could go here and we could scrape independently each one of these pages. All right. Well, now that we have each one of these charity pages, well, look, if I go to view data, I could have all the page text. I could have all the HTML. All right. So why would you need the HTML? Well, if you ever want this data in a structured data, which we kind of talk about a little bit further in like the courses and classes, this is kind of where you would add this, right? You would add your structured data in here. You'd be able to parse this, and which we'll kind of show you guys in a little bit. We also pull back all the images from this page. We also pull back all the emails that we find on this page and all the phone numbers, if it has any phone numbers on here, and all the social links. Okay, so all of these social links, you could actually click on these social links and you can message them, right? So now you guys could like actually add them as a friend, start following them, right? I could follow them, and I'm actually like, it's the actual correct person. We're getting the leads and we're actually reaching out to our targeted people if this is a product that we have. All right, so you might do this by yourself, or you might have a VA do this process. Okay. Now here's what's really cool. You kind of see how we just had all of the scraped pages. Okay. Well, we could also go through and we could say in here, we could select this and it will select all the URLs, and we could scrape all 4,000 pages if we want. However, that will use 4,000 credits. Okay. So sometimes we don't want to do that. So there's this little download URL button, and it gives us the ability to download the URLs, the CSV of this whole little thing. So now we could go through and select what URLs we want. All right. If you ever have a list of URLs that you actually want to scrape, inside here, we could upload that CSV, and we could actually upload the entire like list that we have for all of our URLs, right? So this is a list of doctor URLs that essentially I pulled in, right? And we're able to select all those and scrape each one of those. Or you could select all, and you could see that it just scraped all of these. And here's what's really cool. You could see a little message back from each one. You could see your credits, your input URLs, the text from each one of these pages. You could also see the emails that we brought back from each one of these, the links, if they have any links, any social links, and then also the phone numbers for these. Here's what we could do is we could also export this information from the input URL and then the emails. And so now we can export this as CSV. You could also, if you're training an AI and you want to write an AI copy bot that writes content based off all of this information just for this customer, right? Well, guess what? You could export this right here as text, and then you could export to TXT, and then you could upload that file to AI. And now you guys could train data on your entire website or anything like that, right? Let's just say I wanted to train data on that. You guys could train that, all of that on your own website and then scrape it. Or you guys can use this for the CSV, and then you guys could export the emails, the phone numbers, and reach out to people from here. Okay. So now check out this. Sometimes we want to do this in a more automated fashion. Okay. So remember how at the very beginning, we talked about turning this into your own software. All right. So sometimes you guys might want to make it where this is scraping certain sites, or just using this software for yourself in maybe AI, where it's an AI chatbot and it chats with your website, or you're scraping website to get content data, or you're scraping, you just want a simple dashboard other than my dashboard. Okay. However it goes. Well, here we have the documentation. Okay. So this is the actual development documentation. So you could actually take this software and turn it into your own. So if I go to myaiteam.com, if you're a coder, you probably already know what API documentation is yourself. However, for me, a lot of this is like Chinese. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to copy this little code, And I'm going to go into here into myaiteam.com. A lot of you guys on the call are already users. And on the left-hand side, I'm going to go to AI snippets. And over here, after I enter my key, right, my little Anthropic API key, right, I'm going to hit create new API snippet. And I'm going to say, create me a software that connects to this API endpoint. Okay. Endpoint. And I'm going to paste my entire thing. That's it. That's as simple. And so right now, AI, this little thing right now is writing our code. So if you guys ever want to turn this into a software where you guys offer this as a software yourself, maybe you build it like for an internal team. Maybe you guys build it where you guys can deploy it in your own Go high level accounts, or you offer this as for your, a VA and you guys want to have this for your team. Whatever it is that you guys want, you guys can build this. Okay. And now in a few seconds, all right, we have basically a website, right? Cool. A website scraper. It has our way we can enter our API key, a URL to scrape, a max pages, and then a button to scrape. How cool. Well, if I go to website scraper API and then this API keys, I'm going to hit create new API key. Okay. And now I have this API key right here. Well, I could copy my API key and I could paste it into here. Okay. I'll delete it after so nobody can see. And from here, I could insert in a website, right? Whatever directory you guys have that you guys find. Okay. And I'm just going to pick 50 pages. And if you guys see in a few seconds, this software just called this API. If I look at the view code right here, you can see that this is the code that the AI just wrote. It connected to my software. It passed in my API key. It called over here. And now I have a usage 1 on my API key. All right. So now you guys can build software based around this software. Well, here's what we could also do, right? I could come back in here and I could say, here's my results. Okay. And I could copy this and I could say, here is my returned output. Can you make it so I can select which URLs I scrape? Okay. And then I'm going to paste in my return data. And then guess what? I'm just going to go back over here into this documentation of this one. And I'm going to copy my code from the second one. There's only 2 codes. You could crawl every website with a code. And 2, you could scrape every website with a code. Okay. And now I'm going to come back in here. And I'm going to paste. Here is the scrape API. And I'm going to paste. All right. All right. So, and then this will update my code right here using this brand new API. So now I just connected 2 APIs in a few seconds making software. So if you guys ever want to do this on a mass scale, or you guys want to build software where it's like a website scraper just for contractors, look, now I have a little nice update. I have my API key. I could go back in here, add my API key, copy. I could find my URL, whatever directory URL that you guys so choose. Okay. You could scrape that website. And then now it has all our URLs. Okay. Now we have all here. And now we could click on this. Let's see what happens. All right. Oh, look, these are some like programs that I used to sell. All right. Super awesome. All right. Cool. So here's all our URLs. And I'm going to say, now I want to basically update, right? Let's make this update. So it actually makes it where we can scrape all the data from this. Okay. I'm going to come in here, make it so I can check box each URL and pick which ones I want to scrape and get the data from. Okay. Make it a scroll box. Nice and clean. Use that API endpoint. Perfect. All right, we'll see. So look, I have 234 website links on my site. So if I ever want to get more, I can. But this might be good to do website audits, or this might be good to, like I said, for us, we want to scrape and get the data and basically put that data and sell those leads, okay? Or utilize those leads. So it's totally up to you of what you choose to do with this. All right, so we'll get our API key, copy here, URL to scrape URL. We have all our URLs, and you can see now we have our little URL down here, and we could pick which ones we want to scrape, and we could scrape independently these ones also. So now we literally just connected these two softwares together. Well, if you scroll down, this pulls back all the HTML, all of the images, all of the phone numbers, all of the social links, every single thing that the scraper over here does to be able to, you can also see it stores your data in here too, right? So everything that it does in here and pulls back our phone numbers, everything, okay? It pulls back everything in here and stores it in here for you also. But you're able to create software based off of that, okay? So however you guys so choose, sell that software, build it as a software as a service, or offer it as a software to your guys' clients. So yeah. All right, cool. What do you guys think so far? Any questions on the process of using this software and implement it in your guys' own business at all whatsoever? Any questions on that process? Do you guys feel like if you guys like were to search up directories, see the process of scraping and gather the data, you feel like you guys can do it based off what you guys learned here so far? Cool. All right, Joey, let's go. All right, cool. What's considered a scrape? All info on a particular URL. All right, so great question, Josh. Okay, could we choose what specific item we want to pull? All right, that's even, dude, you are amazing at asking questions. All right, so there's two things. The crawl, whenever you do a crawl, if it returns one page or 9,000 pages, it's 1 credit. Okay, that's the crawl. Okay, like I don't care how long, like it's super easy to get the crawl. The second is every page that you scrape. If it has 1 page, you scrape it and you get the text URL. Let me show you what all the data that you get from each one. Every single time you scrape, you're actually getting, right? If I view this, my AI team, you're getting the page text, which is all the text from the page. You're getting the HTML. All right. Now, here's why the HTML is important. Okay. If I go to you see how I'm parsing out the images, and I'm also parsing out the emails, and I'm also parsing out the phone number, and I'm also parsing out the social links. Well, if I go to, let's just say, okay, so let's just say like this site right here, this charity site, okay? If I scrape this site for data, well, this site, every single one of these sites is essentially, the cool thing about a directory is all the HTML is almost structured the same. All right, so it kind of hosts the data in a very structured way. Well, this is kind of how I'm parsing out just our data. Well, if I copy all of this data, like all of this giant HTML, this one might be a little too big, but we shall see. Yeah, this one might be a little too big. All right, so let's see. Some of these we might need a smaller page as a demonstration to be able to grab all the data, okay? So let me pop this in here, and we're going to paste this. Let's see. Is that the same one? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's just copy all this HTML. And if we have all this HTML here, what we could do is sometimes you need to parse the data, okay? So parsing the data is just getting the actual important information, all right, from the actual site. You could kind of see that a lot of this isn't just the information that we need, okay? So I'm just going to kind of grab the bottom part of the code, right, where it actually shows the information and data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, keep going up, right? I might be able to copy most of this. All right, let's just do it all. Okay, I'm going to copy all this data, and inside my AI team, what we could do is I could say, create me a custom parser for a directory that has HTML like this. All right, and what we could do is, if this doesn't, this should accept that. That was a massive amount of text. I can't believe AI is accepting this. I totally doubted its ability. All right, that was just a giant wall of HTML. Okay, so hopefully it processes it, and I'm really hoping it does. All right, first time go. All right, so sometimes you got to go back and forth with it, and you got to tell it to, like, here's the data I want from this. Okay, so if we look at this site, this is the site that we're adding in. This is the website, the website links, the cause. We can pull in all this information. Okay, so basically in a few seconds, it's going to pop up. So sometimes you need to take that HTML and you need to create a custom parser for your actual site. Okay, that's pretty much the simple word of doing it. And that's kind of the best way to scrape it. So now what we do is, you know how we kind of built this, we built this actual like code, right? Whenever we built the actual code where we actual like in where we're doing this website scraping, we might combine these codes, right? So I'm going to paste this, parse directory, and check out this. Look at this. You see how it just pasted in and created a custom parser? This created us our title, the description, the Facebook and social links, everything that we have from this. All right. I could also say, can you get me 10 times more info from this HTML for the data? Okay. And then I could paste this in and I could hit generate. And here's what we could do is, now it's going to update the code, and we already have all this information. Well, now it's going to get us even more information. Okay. So you can see how we're able to extract data from these sites and then parse it into this. Once we have this parser, we can combine these two codes. Okay. So imagine you're taking and you're crawling the entire site, and then you're telling it, hey, these are the sites that I want you to scrape. Once you get the HTML from this, I want you to parse each one of those HTMLs into this custom data sheet that I want. All right. If you make a mistake, so you see how right now it doesn't work? I like click parse and nothing's happening. We broke it, right? I could go to history and I could scroll, look at all this text that we added, right? That's kind of probably why it broke, right? If you scroll down, if you ever do break it and it doesn't work for some reason, you can go back to this little history and you can see where it says use HTML, and I could go back to a previous state inside this coding software. All right, so at any time we have the history, and we could go back and forth if we make updates, right? I could also, once I get it to make it look beautiful, I could talk to it and I could say, style this and make it look beautiful like Apple designed it, right? And then it's going to style this, and we don't even have to code with spelling because I'm really bad at typing, right? So as you guys are building your guys' software, you guys can do this also, okay? Does that answer that question? Let's see what Apple's style looks like as it designs. Look at that. Apple designed it, baby. Parse that data. All right, cool. So we have all this data, okay? So you guys are going to scrape the data. You're going to gather those URLs, and then one step further, if you want, you could parse the data. And here's what's cool is, I like to take, if I get a list of URLs, I like to go even further, and I like to parse the URLs that I get, right? So I'm going to say, make sure you get the website URL, website URL, phone number, numbers, and emails also. Okay. And I could paste in that whole script again. So you could always tell it exactly what you want if you don't just say 10x it. Okay. However you so choose as you guys are building that data. All right. So that answer that question?
Yep, you got a couple more questions on there. So
awesome.
You see Rick,
cool.
Joey.
Rick, let's go, Rick. All right, can we scrape a huge government website? Oh, I love you, man. Way to flirt with the law, baby. All right, and can we scrape Amazon for specific data? You absolutely can. Okay, so huge government websites. Here's the cool thing is a lot of times what you can't scrape is certain websites have a login, okay? If you ever have to log in to get the data, that is where you could potentially violate the terms of service. Something like Amazon and something like government websites. One of my Facebook friends, he literally asked me, he said, "Hey, I want to scrape the FTC website every day and get articles from the FTC website. Every time they post a new article on the FTC laws, I want an email that it translates that entire article into English and then sends me an email every single day at the time it's posted." Well, guess what? With this scraper, I was able to set that entire software up for him. And now every single day on my email, I get a little thing that says FTC press releases, and I'm scraping that data from that site. Okay, so you could scrape data, or if it's real estate data, let's just say somebody's posted new sites for sale or real estate like impounds or anything, whatever you could get creative with, or licenses for certain like dispensaries or something along those lines, right? Like you can pull those lists anywhere you could find a list and you could see the data, we could get the data. Okay, if you could see the data, we could get the data. All right. So that's the way, right? Joey asked, next, can you scrape a Shopify site? Absolutely. Here's the cool thing. The website crawler gets back all of the URLs. Most websites want to get found on Google, right? That's why they create these URLs. So in order for them to get found, they list their URLs. Like they're putting that data publicly. So the website crawler gets all those URLs. If it's available, we get it back. Okay. So absolutely. If they want to get it ranked on the website, we pull that data back. All right. So yes, that's what I'm talking about, parsing the data, only because you want very specific data from very specific pages. Absolutely. And here's the cool thing is you could turn that data and like make your own directories with this, right? Like that might be the start of your directory if you really like so choose in that direction, right? I've had a directory as a business, and that was the first business I built and sold. And it was probably one of the coolest business I've ever had, because doesn't every business want to get seen on the internet? Like, don't they all want to get seen? Well, if you own a directory, that's a fantastic lead market. Actually, Josh, didn't we meet because I had a directory back in the cannabis space? Yes, I absolutely did. That's what's up, man. I am so glad you're still hanging out with me. Like, that is awesome, right? So directories work. That was a profitable business. And I use that as a lead magnet to sell my websites, to sell my products, to sell my services, all of that stuff. So a directory, you might scrape the data, find the data, and now use that data as a directory for yourself. So, okay, cool. So, do you guys feel like, I think I asked this already, do you guys feel like from watching this, you guys can take action, go find sites that you guys can scrape data and actually like use? All right. And then potentially even sell. All right. So heck yes, let's go, Joey. Okay, cool. So here's what I have. All right. During this call, we do have an offer, right? You guys can 1,000% go into basically use the website scraper and use myaiteam.com to be able to go through and actually like use this whole entire process, okay, through this little software. However, if you guys are somebody that actually wants to go to the next level and you want to set this up as like a service where you're actually like, hey, like this is a service that I don't want to go here and pay Jeff's $27 a month because I know I'm going to scrape more than 1,000 websites. I know even at $297, I'm going to get more than 1,000 websites in my lifetime, because you might want to build a software around these two scraping functionalities. Okay. So that might be the direction. So here's what I have for you guys today as an offer. You guys have the ability to 1,000% own the crawl and scrape code, the script from this. Okay. You guys have the ability to white label this script. Okay. So what does that mean, right? You guys actually own the code, and you guys could, just like I'm connecting it in as an API over here, and I'm actually calling it in my software, you guys are calling your own code on your own server, this script. All right. You could use it as many times as you want. unlimited times, billions of times, right? And I hope you do, right? I hope you literally use it and you sell it, because here's the thing. There's a lot of people that need just this as a service. You could build this into other softwares. You can see how fast we just added this software. You can literally turn this into chatbots where you connect it to AI, and now you guys have chatbots that are connected to your website scraping data. All right, you guys get to own this code. All right, during this call, basically right now, it's $9.97. So for $1,000, you guys never have to pay for the data again. Here's what you guys also have. Inside this, it's called the Code Vault. All right, so during my coaching calls, I actually teach how to set this up, how to actually use this. Well, this last 2 weeks, I've been building this Code Vault that actually shows step-by-step how to set this up in your own server, as your own software, as your own product. Austin is one of those students that went through and he set it up, and now he's building it into his own software. Okay, so during the class, people are setting it up as we're going through. So it's not hard, it's not technical. It's probably the nerdiest thing you'll ever do on your entire life. But we walk you step-by-step instructions, and we're showing you how to code with AI the entire time. All right, so here's what's really cool. You have the option also to join on here the group coaching call for the year. Okay, so if you want to join and you want to join those group coaching live calls, you have that option also. Okay, so you just click this little button, add on, and it adds that on to your guys' price. If you want to learn, if you don't have a product to sell, we have right here a little add-on where you could add on a 2-hour replay that I did with my wife with LC Design on how to build and sell websites to customers. So if you don't have a product, or if you don't have a business model to offer people, I highly encourage you guys, for $100, add that on, and now you guys are going to get the masterclass on how to actually do this replay, how to actually, like, what to sell, what's a good product that's a digital product that you're going to be able to sell over and over, not just a service. The service of selling websites is high ticket. The business model of selling websites is not selling services at all. It's selling what we teach in this class, okay? Or if you just want to pay for the monthly classes on a monthly basis, don't add the yearly, just add the monthly, and then you guys could have this, okay? So here's what's really cool. You guys all showed up for the call, right? If you guys are serious about this, all right, and you guys are really serious, you guys want to white label this code, right? In here, I just dropped a little link in here so you guys can join. If you guys use the code leads, right, and you type in the word leads right here in the little code thing, right, I'm going to take off half off of this code, the white label code, right? So right now it's $9.97 for anybody that doesn't watch this class. Anybody that never watched this code and watched this video and watched this replay, anything like that. If they didn't watch this, they just miss out, because anybody else, they're paying the $1,000. However, you guys went through this training, you guys listened to this, you guys sat here and asked questions. If you guys want this and you just want to never have to pay for the code part, and you want to learn how to build AI software a little bit more than what we just showed on this class, you guys can get all of the replays, which is in this, add the yearly coaching if you want, or the monthly coaching and the website link, and then you guys can get this all for a couple bucks. Okay, so that's go.myaiteam.com/code. Okay, and then you own the white label coding script 100% and build it in your own software. Okay, well, once you guys have it in your own software, well, you could also do this, right? There's a website called rapidapi.com. All right, rapidapi.com is a site that I actually sell APIs on. Okay, so there's other APIs. You guys are literally getting the API code. All right, and if you guys see over here, like, you can sell on this. This is a whole marketplace to sell APIs. Well, guess what? I sell APIs on this thing too, right? Like, not only do I sell it in my software for this, I sell it on a marketplace that sells the code. Okay, so there's many different ways that we show you how to utilize this code inside the training. And you guys get lifetime access to the vault. Okay, so here's what's really cool. Not only do you guys get the code, but I added this whole entire thing into the code vault. So you guys are going to get the crawler and the scrape script, but there's also some other codes that will be added in the future that you guys get lifetime access to on top of that. Okay, so any questions for this deal? Make sure you guys use leads to check out so you guys could save half off on that, basically that code script. Okay, any questions for me? Any questions for me? You guys rock. I'm glad you showed up. Heck yes. Josh, let's go, man. What you got, Troy? You're on mute. You look beautiful, but you're on mute.
Dang it. I want thanks for the compliment.
Yeah.
No, one thing I want to be clear of, because that would be great, is so we could on that what is it, Rapid API. So we could basically white label, create specific crawlers for, like you said, who was it that's in the CBD business?
Yeah.
Do a CBD crawler and then sell it on Rapid API specific to that space. So we could, using that code and my AI team, make customized crawlers and sell them each individually based on the niche we want to focus on or offer.
Yeah, Troy, that's next level, bro. That is next level. 1,000%. 1,000%. And there's 2 people on this class that probably would message you after that just to get those leads from you. You know, like what I mean? Like, think about, and that's just on this call. Like, not even talking about, you know what I mean? Like, think about all the businesses that would love that information. You know what I mean? And that's absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, absolutely. You could sell those custom crawlers and custom scrapers fully on that site too. And then that handles all your API calls, that handles all the transactions, that handles your rates, everything on site there.
Yeah,
handle your billing, everything.
You wouldn't want everybody going on there and basically offering the same thing with a different, label on it, just so you could just kind of niche it a little bit for specific data that pulls out and maybe charge more or less depending. But yeah, that's a great idea.
That is.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was right.
Great idea, man. Great idea.
Anybody else? Did you freeze, Jeff?
All right. Yeah. It didn't shut off until the very end.
Yeah, earlier when I jumped off, it was because my network froze for some reason, and it was
nice.
stuck.
Well, all right, cool. Well, basically, you guys can grab that code. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm excited to see who grabs it and who takes action. If you guys need help setting it up, let me know. Inside the monthly group coaching, basically, we talk about how to code with AI, how to actually implement these scripts, how to turn it into software, how to build software as a service. AI coding is our #1 focus inside that coaching group. Okay. And here's the thing is we went from AI music to AI coding. However, I feel like AI coding is something that as a I don't feel like that's ever going to end. AI coding is something that we're going to need developers for a very, very long time. And so hopefully you guys join that group and use the software. Love you guys. Talk soon.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you for joining. Bye.